Welcome, beautiful people. It's Mary Catherine from Transformational Life and Self-Love, and we are on our final day, the live. This is the final live of the Playful Abundance Challenge. So well done, all of you that have followed me through this self journey more than anything else. This was me. I'm going to check, am I going live right now? Just 1 second. This was my self-discovery journey of what would it be like to play more. Oops.
Hey everybody.
That's the old live. Let me see, is this working? It is. Seems to be on. Okay, I look like I'm live. Awesome. Welcome. So, day 6. Oh my goodness, and today is like my favorite day. Today is a day that I get to share how I play with intuition and how that works, because that's a complete sense and vibrational play all of its own, right? And it's how I started. It's how I started opening myself up, was through play. And like I said before, I did this 6-day challenge for myself as much because sometimes we forget. So this is bringing me back into that more and more. So if anybody has questions, please post them below in the comments, just down there. And if anybody has any shares, let me know. Perhaps your experiences of the last 5 days, how you found the last 5 day challenge. How did that go for you, bringing that into your life, bringing play into your life a little bit more? What challenges did you meet? Because there was a few, because I got a couple of PMs from people, so I know there was a few, and even I had as well. I had a couple of big awarenesses myself. So I'm going to get on to playing with intuition. Okay. When we come to developing that, and I call this it's like a muscle. It's the sixth sense muscle, right? The intuition muscle. And everybody has, hi Marta, welcome. And everybody has a different way of accessing this mysterious word that we call intuition. And you see, there's loads of ways. We've probably referenced this before we became what you might call more awake or more aware, right? And probably different ways. So I wrote some of them down. Thanks for the love hearts. So I wrote some of those down as well. Okay, so some people called intuition their gut feeling. Some people call intuition, I have a sense, or I have a feeling, or I have a hunch. And that's a classic one. I often have heard, and especially the difference between how the female, and this is the females of us out there, and the males, not that I'm stereotyping, but this would be like what I have experienced in my personal life. Males tend to reference their intuition as hunches or gut feelings. And females, when I'm talking to the females, it's like intuition, or, a divine knowing, or they'd use this kind of language. Like there's a different language and how we maybe reference what we call intuition. So I'm gonna be a bit, invite everybody to be a little bit open on what we view intuition as. I'm just gonna use the word intuition because that's probably the most common one. So how do you open and play with your intuition on a day-to-day basis? How does it come into play for you on a day-to-day? Are you consciously using it? And I know I am consciously using it day-to-day because I use it with my clients. Okay, so that's one way I use it. And then the last couple of days I've been noticing I use it less for me. And that's so ironic. In the last while I've found myself finding into that kind of not so much wanting to sit with myself. And that's because that requires a discipline, right? Where there's that sense of, I need to sit down, I need to meditate. That's how I was looking at this when I wasn't in that space of wanting to do that. And of course, there's some sense of avoidance in that sometimes for us, especially if we're operating from time or too much to do, or maybe there's something we're trying to avoid from knowing. I I'm hearing. Oh my God, I just got 2 pings. Ding, 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 ding. So I'm going to share something with you that's really quite fascinating on this 6-day challenge with myself. I know there's been stuff coming within me. And part of the reason I wanted to use play was because it's easier to access the deep, dark depths of us when we go there from a space of lightness rather than getting heavy and bogged down, especially if this is like you're not being guided by somebody else. You're doing it on your own, essentially. So, Christy, welcome. Bradley, welcome. And Marta, welcome. So the last couple of days, y'all know I've been on this challenge, and this challenge has been showing up so many ways in my life through people I've been attracting in, and also me seeing those that just don't want to play with me, that just don't want to meet me that extra, you know, meet me in the middle, where it feels like I'm almost overreaching to bring them into this sphere. So when I'm kind of being very general here, because obviously some of this is like private stuff or client stuff or even family stuff, but it's that sense of, oh, where am I overreaching? Where am I overgiving? Where am I leaking my energy? And I'm trying to get these people to play with me. And when I say play with me, it's like, let's have fun together. Let's create together. Let's co-create together. Let's have a nice experience together, right? Where it's not bogged down or dense or in their stories, right? So hello, my sweetheart. How are you? So in that sense, I have noticed playing with my intuition now recently. I did it today, hands up. I went in asking myself a lot more questions, a lot more deep diving. And I went from it in that space of, okay, how do I do this? What is the best way for me to do this? Because would you believe it, yesterday, I woke up with like a swollen eye. I went to bed with a swollen eye and I woke up with a swollen eye. And I knew my eye swelling was because of something I wasn't seeing. And it was about myself. What do you not see about yourself? And it shows up my body like super fast. If I'm not addressing something, I'm like the way my messages come in is just like boom. And now I've seen it and it's gone completely right now. So it's like the minute I acknowledged it in my real world, essentially, once I acknowledged it going, oh, this is what you're telling me, thank you. It just went literally within seconds. So I had to play with that. That was something I was avoiding. I was avoiding seeing something about myself. I was avoiding feeling into something about myself that I was afraid others were seeing about me. And this is that it's like for me, I always call it the little me, and Bradley, you'll know what I'm talking about here, where this part of me, this aspect of me was hiding. It's like a little part of me was hiding from something, and she didn't want to be seen, and she didn't want me to find her. She was like, being a bit sneaky about it all. And I needed to invite her out to play for me to see what the truth was. And that's what I did today. And I know there's more information going to come in because this is about me moving forward. This is about me moving forward in my life through many aspects, my relationships, my career, everything. So I'm going to show you how I ask these questions, how I play with it. And this is just my way. And I'm going to invite you to share yours because everybody will have a different way of accessing this play. Okay. I've got a couple, okay? And I have this toolbox that I use to access my intuition. And this toolbox is there for me when I feel like using one tool over the other. So first one is easy. First one is the heart versus mind intuition. This is the heart intuition. Our greatest wisdom resides within the realm of the heart space. You've heard me say this before. So what does that mean and how do we get there? This is easy peasy Japanesey. Am I being culturally appropriate when I say that? I don't know, but that's just saying we used to say as kids. What is it? Okay, it is let's get a little bit still and let's slow the breathing down. And the reason we slow the breathing down is so that the body gets the cue that it's safe. And when we're safe, we're not in fear, flight, fight mode. Essentially, we're just getting, it's okay, body, let's still, and let's start listening. This is a thing with play. This is where we're going to start listening. Let's listen, let's see. Let's move from the mind space into the heart space. So there's a couple of ways to do this. The first is through touch. And I've done videos on these before. It's touching. And there's studies on this out there. The Heart Math Institute has studies on it. Many indigenous cultures use these techniques through time. So there's nothing new here in this. So you'll just notice I'll start slowing my speech and I'll start breathing in. I'm just breathing slower. And when I'm doing this, I'm just aligning my body as well. I'm lowering my shoulders. You'll even notice my shoulders lower. And I'll just take a beautiful breath in and out. I close my eyes. So for me to access my answers, I like to close my eyes. You can leave them open. I'm going to take a few big, long breaths in and out. And you all know me, who's ever follows me as well, I'm like, soften the sitting space. So breathing in and softening, hand on the heart, eyes closed. And now I'll ask the heart. Now, if you have a question, right, you might have a particular question right now. Maybe it's about, what do I choose for dinner? The rice or the potatoes? Okay, I don't know. This is just random. Or do I go on a date with this girl, right? Or do I buy this or this? We're coming up to Christmas. This gift A or gift B? What's the highest good here? So you can use this kind of technique, and this is just playing with it every single day. So you can play with, roast spuds or boiled, like whatever you need, right? So for me, what question do I want to ask? I actually asked one when I was out, and I know what the answer is already because I received it. And it was around me, can I start eating gluten again? Because I had to stop because I was having a reaction in my gut. I'm not a celiac. I just had I knew I had an intolerance because I would get an inflammation in my elbows, whatever, So I was kind of missing having gluten because I wanted to have some French bread once in a while. And I was going, can I go back? Because I stopped eating. I was like, can I go back and eat it? And I got a really loud no. That's not what I wanted. That's not the answer I wanted. And then I started asking, okay, so can I eat it ever again? Like, is that it? Am I never going to eat bread again? Am I never ever going to experience gluten again? And when I asked that, I got, no, I can eat it again. And essentially I got, yes, I can eat it again. When I asked, these are the yes, no questions actually. So I just want to phrase, this is part of how we do it. When we ask the heart the questions, when we're coming in and breathing in, when we're asking the heart, we want to ask very precise yes, no answers. Is this true? True, not true. Is this a yes? Yes, or else you hear a no. And you hear it, so this is when you use your senses, all of the senses coming in. So sight, the seeing, the hearing, the auditory, the feeling, the sensory, so sentience and the empathy feeling, the feeling in the body, which could be a light feeling for yes, or a dense feeling for no, not true. True is light. So this is when you feel and play and notice with your own dominant senses. So there are dominant senses. There's the cognizance, which is claircognizance. Clairsentience is the feeling. Clairvoyance is the seeing. Clairauditory, clairsalient is the taste. What's the smell one? I can't remember what this is. So clear smell is another one. Smells. Does that smell true to you, or does it smell like bullshit? Get me? Okay. Or the taste, even, like, does that taste sweet or bitter? So using all of these senses to find which is your dominant. Most people tend to have a knowing or a feeling. So if it's a knowing, you'll know it's true. So my name is Bob. And that feels heavy for me, even when I say it. Now I hear a note. I hear things too. So I hear no. So just allow what your sense is when you're playing with this. So can I eat bread ever again? And I am getting a yes. Now that's yes, no. Keep going for your yes, no's. Keep playing for your yes, no's. Keep playing for your light, heavy. Keep playing with your true, not true. With a hand on the heart, because this brings you right into the heart space. Now, if you have a pet is a really good one to start playing with, because I can see somebody with a dog out there right now. So if you want to play with, like, does this dog prefer running in this park or going to this park? You could play with this. does the animal prefer this groomer or that groomer? You could use really weird things to play with, and then it'll like activate that sense of excitement and joy to use it more and more. Now, some people experience this in the body in different ways, not just the light heavy. They'll experience what we call truth bumps, goosebumps, chills, right? The chills, or like a flutter in the back of the ear or back of the head. And it's different for everybody. And this is where I would say, come into your place of stillness, come into your centeredness. So this requires you centering and grounding. If anybody's not grounded, and when I say grounded, that's feeling aligned. That's feeling like the head's not all over the place in our to-dos. Now we're coming up to Christmas, so everybody's like, to buy the turkey and the ham and the kids' presents and the Christmas trees, and father-in-law's coming to visit and mother-in-law is staying, and oh my God. And the head's like, we're all out here with this energy. So we want to center our energies. And you can do that with me now, if you want, if anyone wants to join in with me now, because I'm seeing one or two that needs to center. So I'm going to call in your energies. I'm going to invite you to call in your energies. I'm calling in mine, you call in yours. This is us in our power. So just breathe in. Hand on the heart, breathing in, softening, and in you come. Take a couple of breaths, like 5 breaths in. So the goosebumps, the truth bumps, the chills. When something happens, you know it's true. When somebody says something, you know it's true. It's like this deep sense of knowing. The body knows, it's showing you. So that's like using that and accessing that in any way that you can as well. So that might mean experiencing through music. So it could be you want to ask these questions, play music in the background that helps your body experience that chill sense much easier. And you all know what I'm talking about. There's certain music that will like make the back of your hair, stand up. And that's already the body attuning to that frequency. So if you want to use that with your intuition practice, use it. I'm getting told that right now because somebody out here, that's how you access. So it's going to be a very quick way for you. So whoever's watching this right now or will watch in the future, that's random. Like I've never heard that before. That is for somebody. So how do you experience it, and how do you want to experience it? How do you want to play with it? How do you want to bring it in more? What I would say is start asking right now. Send me signs. Send me ways that I can ask these questions, and start reminding yourself just to stop. Start playing with it. Start playing with it in your everyday. Start playing it when do I go down this street or take this street? Do I go left or do I go right? Do I stop at this traffic lights or take a shortcut here? What's the highest good? And keep asking these kind of questions. We're going to Spain on Saturday. There's a strike here in Paris. And I'm like asking the question, will that affect our train? And I'm asking it now so I can make preparations. If I'm getting a yes, I got yes, we'll be fine. And I also know that we need to leave early to get the bus to get to the train station, which there are loads of strikes on. So I'm like, do we need to leave at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? And I got my answer. And this is like, you keep asking these questions, keep feeling into it, keep playing with it. It can be used for so many things. Now, some of you might have questions going, yeah, but Mary, and I'm not going to check because I'm not leaving any messages because I'm not seeing any comments or anything here. Tamara, welcome. Bella, welcome. Okay. So you might go, yeah, but Mary, when something scary is happening, or I want to manifest XYZ, or I'm like in this relationship, I'm not happy, and then I try to access my intuition and I can't get a clear answer. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. All I hear is crickets, or it's, I don't know, I'm really confused. And it doesn't feel like playing. It feels really tough and really hard. So if anybody's experiencing that, I know I have in the past, so I totally get you. And that's why it's easier for me to do with others than it is for me to do myself. So that is, again, I'm going to use the word like, it's creating that ritual, creating that like sense of play for ourselves. So you might have to pattern interrupt first. So what's a pattern interrupt? It's when we kind of come out of that story using different techniques and methods. So it might be you need to go turn on some music, dance, maybe you need to take a couple of loud shouts in the bathroom, whatever you need to do, okay? whatever will interrupt that thought pattern of I'm in this loop, this rumination loop, and I can't access my intuition. I don't know what's left and right. I don't know what's true, not true. So if that's the case, I'm going to invite you to think back to a time where you were in a difficult situation and maybe you didn't make the right choice, but you knew afterwards, and you look back in hindsight, it's like, oh, I knew I should have left that fella, a week into dating him. Why did I waste 3 months of my life? You know, these kind of things, like this knowingness, and kind of remember what that felt like, what felt true and not true at the time, because it's conditioned out of us. Our intuition is conditioned out of us. It's conditioned out of us from school, politeness, manners. Whatever way you want to think about it, we're told as kids, like, it's not, maybe your parents have one idea of what you should do and you have another, but you have to listen to your parents, or in school, whatever. So it's often conditioned out of us. And especially, I'm going to put up as a female as well, it's like people pleasing. So you won't listen to yourself, you will people please before you do that. Now, that was one of my old stories. So in that case, when you start to access your intuition, when there's something difficult going on in life, you're like, I don't know what's true. What's the right thing, right? So this is where it gets a little bit more fun. And that's where I'm going to invite everybody, if anybody's in that situation right now or will find themselves in the future, find your pattern interrupts, make a list of what they're going to be. Maybe it's self-care. Maybe it's connecting inwards for a while. Maybe it's sitting down and just having a nap, whatever it is. When you sleep, by the way, you reduce your resistance. So often what we're talking about here is resistance build up to receiving. To receiving your information, you have resistance. So it's when we pattern interrupt, we kind of mess with the brain on that as well. So it can't be so much in the mind. So coming into the heart space is the first thing, using that technique I showed you earlier on, or using appreciation, gratitude, or just going out and finding something that is playful for you, fun, joy. And you should have a couple from the last week. And you can then ask the question, is my answer coming from fear? In other words, protection. If you're getting like, is it about protecting yourself and you're not sure if it's intuition or not? This one could be partly true, not true. And this is like the fun with this, because as we attune and as we clear our programs, our patterns, as we clear trauma or emotions or energy that's stored in the body, we become a clearer vessel for what is our truth. And nobody can tell you what your truth is. So I've often had people come up to me and they'll be like, I had this dream and this happened in the dream. What do you think it means? Right? And I'm like, I can tell you what I think it means, but that's my perspective. And that's through my eyes, my perspective, my intuition through my eyes. You might have something slightly different. And that's why I always encourage everybody is don't hand your power over to anybody. Use this, use your own yes, no, use your own light, heavy, use your own, find out what that is and what that looks like and start practicing it. And your heart knows what the truth is. Your body knows what the truth is. Trust it, start trusting it. And this is that connection to self. This is when we need to develop that connection to self. How can I trust myself more? What does that look like me? And breathe in. Do I need to communicate with this person more? Breathe in. So you can start communication actually is huge in this. Sometimes our intuition, when we forget to play or when we can't play, it's because there's something we need to say to ourselves or to others in our life that's with us. And that's disharmonious energy needs to be harmonized. And that sometimes is through beautiful, radical candor or radical truth. And that's not aggressive truth. That's just being in your truth, essentially having a conversation, but making sure, and I'm going to say that for anybody out there, that you're feeling safe in that as well, to be safe in that, to be in a safe space, because we can't play if we're not feeling safe. It's very hard to access our intuition when we're not feeling safe. And oftentimes when I see people, when I work with people, I can see physical coverings, energetic coverings over their third eye, over their heart space, looking like heart walls, let's say, or in the head space altogether. So that connection to even source, this crown chakra, often has like an energetic field of protection over it. And when we work together, there's that sense of, let's see what this is, let's peel it away. And you can ask that if you're feeling like, I'd love to have this sense, I know I have it, I used to have it as a kid, but right now I'm finding it hard to use. You can start asking, how may this be released? Please show me how. Or we're coming up to the 21st, the 12th, which is a big kind of a gateway or a portal again. You can ask even then and there and receive. And you can even say, is there anything that needs to be cleared from here? Is there anything that needs to be cleared from here? Is there anything that needs to be cleared from here? Is there anything that needs to be cleared from here? And you might feel into yes, no, and just start asking for that clearing. And maybe it's you just kind of, just breathing in and allowing it, breathing in colors, listening to music, dancing, and feeling that clearness come in. I'm saying this because I can feel somebody out there right now, and that's the question you have. How can I open my third eye? So sometimes there's energetics involved, and I'm breathing into that because I'm feeling whoever is that, just put it in the question. Let me know if anybody is thinking that. Ask to receive. Playfully ask, without expectation, without attachment to the answer. Ask 3 times. This is what needs to be said. Ask 3 times. So if you're like, yes, no, ask a second time. The exact same question the same way. And ask a third time. The exact same question the same way. 3 is the magic number. If any of you are connecting with your guides or with the higher self or with source or whatever word you might have for that, any other beings of source light, angels, whatever words you might have, ask a question 3 times if you'd like to connect with a being like that, and see what comes in. And if you're feeling like a message is coming through, if let's say, what do I need right now? Breathe in. What do I need from me right now in the highest truth? So you need to trust yourself more. I'm just hearing that because that's been coming in for me today. I need to trust myself more, right? Trust. So you might hear a word, trust. And you can even say, okay, is that true? And I hear, it's for me, so I'm hearing a yes. It feels light. I'm feeling a warmth in my heart. And I can ask again, is that true? Yes. Is that true again? Yes. What does trust look like me? Trust looks like taking that next step forward. Thank you. And I say thank you when I receive something. Thank you, me. What is that next step forward? So I'm talking you through what I'm doing right now. Okay, what is that next step forward, me? Please show me. Okay, I am getting this. I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Because they're leading me down a path. Okay, the next thing I'm getting is breaking through the barriers known and unknown. So now I'm going to ask, well, what's the barriers known and unknown? Please show me that. So I'm seeing 2 doors. And the known is that which I know and I'm afraid to take that step forward. The unknown, I'm scared fucking shitless. Thank you. And this is that hesitancy. I'm afraid to even see, and that's that I think. I'm afraid to even see what the unknown is. And that's where my trust comes in. So my first step is to trust. They're showing me that again. Can you just trust? Do I need that information right now? No. Okay. The known ones I already know. So they're like, just look there for now. Just go there for now. Lean in. So that's the information I'm getting. And I know what it's about. But this is the kind of playing that we're doing. You can see I'm not too serious about it. I'm just laughing at whatever I'm getting. People can write this down. You could just start writing. Ask a question. Write it on paper. And then allow your hand to move. Allow it all to come out. Sometimes it's absolute fucking garbage when it comes out. Keep going. It's like you're going to turn on that tap that hasn't been on for a long time, and it's going to be the gunky like irony sludgy water that comes out, and it needs to keep turning until it just flows. And that's that trust as well. Trust it'll start to flow. Keep asking the questions. Be breathing, be playing, be light, and allow that flow to happen. And if it feels like you're making it up, who cares? Because imagination, that's the part of the brain you access when you're accessing your intuition. It's very closely wired, okay? Because when I put people under hypnosis, it's the same thing. When we get into subconscious, you access the imagination part first. Ugh, can't even say that. You access that imagination part first. Imagine a bird. Imagine the wind on your skin. Imagine a smell. And then suddenly, boom, we're in the subconscious. Okay, and that's where you access a lot of the information. The heart, the subconscious. We're in the heart, we're in the body, the subconscious, we're in the higher self. So if you think it's just imagination, doesn't matter, keep playing with it. We create from our thoughts, okay? It's an energy. And allow that imagination out, because in that imagination, more truth will come in. So that's more trust from you. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. Gay, you've joined, welcome. And Shri, you've joined too. I'm not seeing any questions come in. So if anybody wants anything clarified around that, or how else they can play, let me know. Because even if you take 3 minutes in your day just to ask a question, and a question like this, breathing in, what is it I need to know today? Breathe in, this is your connection with the heart space, and see, feel, sense if anything comes in, a color, a word, anything at all. What is it I need to do today? Do the same thing. I'm releasing energy, so excuse me if I burp, because that's what's happening. And again, tuning in, softening everything like I did earlier on. What is it I need to do today? What is it I need to know today? What is it I need to say today? What is it I need to hear today? What is it I need to be today? These are the 5 things you can ask, and you might get a feeling for one of them when you start, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, and it's like you're activating, just asking a question, playful questions like this, without deep investment and, oh, I have to get an answer, without that, okay? Just asking that question from that space of, I'll just ask this one today and see what happens. Open up the door. Maybe I'll take a peek in, but maybe I'll just see and wait what comes in. I won't try to jump through when I'm not ready. We'll just wait, keep the door open to allow what needs to come in to come in. And it's that allowing energy. It can even, there's like a surrender in that and a trust in that. So we're just opening the door when we ask a question. And energetically speaking to the universe, we're creating a vacuum. When we ask, we're opening to receive. We're creating a vacuum to allow something in. We've all heard that, ask to receive, right? Ask and you will receive. Well, that's the same thing with the questions. It's asking the question, keep the question simple, yes, no, simple answers, and start playing that way. And you can play with things that don't mean too much to you right now. Start with something where there's no resistance. What food does my dog like more? Chow chow or munch munch? Okay, so I'm just really randomly throwing out stuff. But literally ask that. Do I take a left or do I take a right? Do I buy these carrots or those broccoli sprouts? You know, it's like start playing with that. And the more you exercise it, the more you exercise this, the greater that muscle will grow more and more. And that's how simple this can start to be. And some people are better writing it out and doing it that way. And if that suits you better, do it that way. And just make it playful. Okay, I'm moving my body because I just want to see what else wants to come in. I'm moving. I do this just to get energy flowing. And I'm going to take a breath in and just see what else wants to happen here. Okay, I'm getting told to clarify something with you out there. Those of you that are kind of already doing this. So the 3-question thing, why did I say that? When I started out, I was getting answers. I didn't know, could I trust them? And this wasn't about the fear thing. This was separate. This was, let's say I'm accessing a being or an angel, or did I know it was an angel or not? Or actually, was it something else? Was it a trickster energy? Okay, so this is me getting a little bit more woo-woo, but this needs to be said for some people. I definitely know 1 or 2 of you out there is thinking this right now. The law of three. This is called the law of three. When we use the law of three, when we're accessing information from the quantum field, and when I say quantum field, I am talking about the etheric field or the Akashic records, okay? There's different language for this, right? So let's say I'm going to use a simple one, angels, right? And that's just, again, that's an energy expression or a vibration or a frequency. And the word I'm going to give that is angel because it's easy for me to act. I can kind of almost sense what that energy feels like. It's different to fairy energy. It's different to dragon energy. It's different to earth energy. You get what I mean? Okay, so let's just say I'm like, okay, I want to connect with my angel, Archangel Michael, let's say. Boom, he's in the room the minute I say his name. Okay, so I'm breathing in. And let's say I want to ask him that question. I'm not going to me. I'm not going into my heart. I just go, maybe something I want to ask Archangel Michael. Maybe it's about protection, right? And I'm just going, am I protected in this situation? Perhaps there's a situation going on in your life. Like, so, okay, Archangel Michael, please protect me in this blah, 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 blah. And I'm breathing in. And I'm breathing in the energy and I'm inviting it in. And then I hear something or I feel something or I get a cognizance and knowingness come in. And I'm like, oh, that's some information. You know, is that true? And you're like, you're asking yourself, doesn't feel like it's coming from me, feels like it's coming from something else, right? So if that's the case and you're going, is that true? Is that true? Can I trust that? Can I trust it? Ask it 3 times. Any energy being, and you're not sure if this is the first time connecting with something, okay, and it's an energy expression. Now, some people may be connecting, you can use this for spirits or deceased people as well, like deceased spirits, and you're not sure if they're presenting as themselves or is it an energy that's just messing around with you. You ask it 3 times. It cannot deny it on the 3rd time. You ask the question the same way 3 times. Okay, I have had to use this myself. So there's definitely one of you out there that's thinking this, and that's why I'm saying that, because this wasn't really along that line. So let me know if that is resonating with you. And the law of 3 is amazing. You can use it for yourself, connecting to your higher self, and it just confirms things for you, and it gives you that, you know, the grounding, the foundation to keep going with it. I can trust this. This feels good. Okay, the yes gets louder. Now you can use tools as well, right? We can play with tools. And when I say tools, what's a tool? Card decks, oracle cards, pendulums. Does anybody have a pendulum out there? If you've ever used a pendulum, and you can make your own. Literally, you could get like what you call that? A necklace, like a. Where's my language gone? Well, like, let's say a golden necklace with nothing on it and put your ring on it and just swing that around. That's a pendulum. It doesn't have to be anything special. You can make your own. So these are other ways you can play and feel. If you're getting your yes, no, you can use that to double check, right? You can play with that and just start seeing what happens, start seeing how the universe resonates back to you. You can start asking for signs to show me this is the right path to take, signs to show me that this is a yes, no. Okay, so these are all the ways you can play and get your confirmation. So there's many ways I've received confirmation. You might get it from somebody else. You might get it from a book. You might get it from whatever signs and scenes happen when you're outside in nature. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards, 3 cards before I hop off. And I'm going to invite you to ask me, like, is there a question you want to put down? And if it's around intuition for you, let me know. If anybody wants me to pull them a card, you need to say yes. I won't read you unless you say yes in the box below. And if anybody has a particular question, I can guide you through that right now, essentially. I can help you find your own answer. So who wants to play with me? Is anybody out there wanting to play? Is anybody watching? Let me know. Okay, I do have somebody asking. And I don't know why on my computer it's not showing me any of the questions. So I'm going to my phone. So if I'm looking down, I'm just looking at the phone. So, Michelle, how do I open my 3rd eye? So there's so many ways that you can open your 3rd eye. Michelle, there is a lot of ways for you to open your 3rd eye, but I'm going to invite you just to close your eyes. Take a breath in. I'm going to even say, is my third eye open right now? Yes, no. Start playing with it right now, right? Is my third eye open? Yes, no. So sometimes we think things are closed and they're not. We just might have an energetic protective film over it, but the eye is probably open. It's just not open all the time, right? Because maybe we're protecting ourselves, or maybe something doesn't feel safe to see or to know right now. Or on a physiological level, because the third eye is also connected to the pineal gland being kind of at a right hand angle between here and the middle of your head, which is also responsible for the hormones in the body. Sometimes our environment can affect how the clarity with which this gland can work. So in other words, calcification, certain foods, or if we have deficiencies in vitamins. So I'm just getting a throat clearing here. What's that around? Okay, this is around your truth as well. Okay, there's a link here for your third eye and your truth. Do you remember I said sometimes we need to say things and communicate to allow that flow out? Do you remember I said that earlier on? I have a feeling, Michelle, it's going to be like that for you. It's like, keep speaking out, allow it out, keep playing with the questions and allow out that gunk more and more and more. In fact, Michelle, we're working tomorrow, I think, together. So this is going to come into it more and more. And this is the accessing it through the third eye. There's loads of ways. Diet is one of them. So to clear and access through diet, there's something with your throat, Michelle, okay? So I'm going to invite in that clearing. So what wants to happen here? I'm going to ask that question. And this is a great question. What needs and wants to happen? What needs and wants to happen for Michelle? She needs to believe she can do it for herself. Okay, thank you. What else needs and wants to happen? Because I'm just a guide. Who in your life, Michelle, do you need to have an honest conversation with? Is it you? Yes or no? Who else? Male? Just take a breath. Feel into the body. Feel into the body and just breathe right down to your root and sacral. So anywhere there's anxiety or a feeling of nervousness or a dense feeling or a sticky feeling, just breathe right into it. Notice if you're tight anywhere in the chest, shoulders, and just relax. Let's play with this. Let's see, Michelle, what do you need to open up your third eye even more? Because I got, yes, your third eye is open. It's just to kind of make it more so, more clear, more clarity. What do you need for more clarity? What are you getting for that? Feed me back in the box. I want to hear what you're getting, because I know you're getting a word right now and I want to know what your word is. And if the word is I don't know, just breathe in and do I love you, mean it. I'm sorry, I don't know right now. And if your word is trust, I choose to trust. Thank you. And I have your card. Right. Michelle, your card is this: expecting miracles. Miracles are blossoming in my life. So where in your life right now can you focus even more on that brings you joy? Where in your life right now, and I'm getting instantly, so where we meet resistance is where we feel lack or scarcity. And anywhere that you feel lack or scarcity, not enough of, if it's time, if it's finances, if it's a relationship, leave that to the side and play with something there's not so much traction, right? There's not so much energetic traction, which is resistance. So what can you just put that to the side and find something that is easy, that's flow, that you can just start with straight away. Sorry, my throat is clearing and I know I'm kind of I'm just going to breathe into that. So what's coming in? Michelle, I'm sorry. I read a card for you last week. It's the same thing coming up. Lux. Lux, lux, and I used the word luxury with you last week. Luxury derives from the word lux, and lux is light. And for me, it's I'm seeing golden light around you, which means abundance. It really wants to come in, and it feels like you need to start treating yourself like you're that lux. You are the light. Can you trust that? Can you believe that? Can you allow that to come out in your expression and your truth? So phlegm, I've got phlegm coming up and I don't have a cold right now. So that chest, what's going on in the chest and the throat, there's a link here. It's about coming into your power. I can feel it in the solar plexus. I'm holding up this because look how soft the colors in this card are. This is all about the heart. Look at this. And of course, look at all the pinks and purples and pinks also deriving to the sacred heart, but also the third eye is an indigo, purple. Right? So all of these colors, the opening, the looks, can you trust in it? Can you trust you're being held by source right now, by the divine, by the all that is, whatever word you want to use for that, creator? And if you look there, right in the center, so the circle is almost a completion symbol. It's a symbol of like the divine, the earth, the sun. So for me, there's so much blessings in this. I just know, like, even the little dots of blessings, like there's little dots around this. There's just tons of blessings in this. Is there anything else that wants to come in? I've said to you, what I said last week is the same message coming in. The luxury, the gold. And again, the yellowness of that, the yellowness being connected with the solar plexus. So I'm breathing because I can feel how tight this is right now. And if your body is tight, can you just start stretching it and moving, opening the chest, tapping on the chest, anywhere where that's feeling caught or condensed? How's that bronchitis? So just opening that up, opening up anything to do with the lungs, as well as like release of grief. So processing grief, old stuff. See, we've been coming into this huge shifting period. December is a big month. It's the 12-12 gateway. It's also, we're coming up to the 21st, the solstice, the rebirth cycle. This is all like cycles when we look at it. Like this is the darkest day of the year. And then the next day is more light coming in, more and more light, more lux coming in. So for you, Michelle, it's like this whole rebirth cycle coming to an end. And you might, and I know perhaps you'd be familiar with me saying karmic cycle, the end of a karmic cycle. Yeah, thank you. And literally what you need to do now is just trust and let it go. And that grief from your childhood, that grief from other lifetimes, that grief from your parents, it's that sense of you're literally purging it out. So loosen it up, let it go, talk it out if you need to, and write it down if you need to. Okay, does that help, Michelle? Okay, let me see. Michelle, better, but keeps coming up in the night. What's the better? I don't know what you're referring to there. Better, but it keeps coming up in the night. You'll have to explain a little bit more to me. Okay. And I will see you tomorrow because we have that session. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hypnosis. Jean, welcome. There's a lot opening up for you, Michelle. There's this thing with time. We're like, when? I've been waiting for freaking ages. Oh, the bronchitis is better, but it keeps coming up in the night. Yeah. Okay. All right, set that intention for tomorrow as well. We look at that. Okay. How perfect is it that we're meeting tomorrow? Okay. Who was next? Who was next, my darlings? So the third eye, Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Urine. Welcome, Urine. I've never seen you before or met you before, but welcome. Andrew, you'd love a card. I don't think have I pulled a card for you yet before? Oh, there's one popping out. Okay, this is yours. Shit, radiant vitality is filling my life. Renewing your life, Andrew. Renewing your life. And it's like a bloke there pushing clutter off a cliff. Can you see that? So, what are you letting go of? What are you letting go of before you move into 2020? What are you pushing off the proverbial cliff? What are you saying goodbye to so that you can be reborn? And of course, I said this before, it's like when we release things, or when we even on a physical level, this is feng shui, let's say, when we're letting go of stuff through love and appreciation, we're letting it go, we're cleaning, decluttering, we create vacuums, energetic vacuums in our life for more to come in. It's like we're creating space, energetic space. So at the physical, are you letting things go at the physical? And on the mental, are you letting old thoughts and programs going on the mental? And on the emotional, what emotional baggage have you said, bye-bye, thank you, I've healed you, I've loved you, I've forgiven you, thank you, goodbye. What else is coming in for Andrew? So let's play with questions here as well, Andrew. I don't know if you're here for the start of this video about playing and following your intuition. So if you have a specific question, ask it now. Just going to see if you have. You're welcome, Michelle. So appropriate, is it, Andrew? Okay. My whole life feels like it is healing. Oh, falling apart. Okay. So I'm going to ask you in that sense, is it the feeling like the breakdown to breakthrough kind of a thing? Sometimes it's like we're like, boom, to kind of come up and break through. So what question do you have, Andrew? I'm going to play with you and using your intuition as we're doing this. I'm going to invite you to play with me. Struggling to get motivated. Okay, so let's ask this question together. Why am I struggling, me? And you know how to do this, so I'm going to invite you to do it. Put your hand on your heart, close your eyes. And just soften the body. You can invite in whatever you want, higher self, higher power, little me, whatever you're connecting with right now. And just breathe. Why am I struggling, me? And when I'm asking that question from perspective view, it's almost like I'm hearing everything feels really hard, like everything's so difficult, you know? And just breathe into that. If you want to do I love you, me on this, feel free. I'm sorry, me, if it feels like I'm struggling. I'm sorry, me, if everything feels like shit right now. Forgive me, I love you, come home. What's the truth? So what do I need to let go of or declutter? What do I need to let go of? What needs to be acknowledged, right? So what needs to be seen, to be acknowledged, so that I can let go of it. Okay, so how to soften my heart? Because I can feel, I have a pain in my heart, right? It's like I can feel like a sharp pain in my heart space right now. And also almost like part of me is left, like I've left the body. I'm not fully here. So I can't see what's coming up on the computer. So I'm just going to go to my phone, Andrew, 1 second, because I can see some messages coming in. Okay, so struggling to get motivated. You're afraid to step into your power. Okay, and your wife is leaving. So, my darling, I'm so sorry that's happening for you right now. It's very hard to get into any playful mood when all this, it feels like everything's crashing in around you. And I totally feel that. I can feel that pain in your heart. And I'm so sorry. Forgive me for all that you're going through right now. I love you. I send you my love. I'm going to invite you to open your sitting space. Just come back in. Breathe right back in down to your center. And it's because I'm feeling that's quite tight because it doesn't feel safe right now for you, right? It's just not feeling safe. So just come back in if you can with the breath. Just come back in and allow it out. If you need to cry, like cry, let it out. What else needs to happen for Andrew? To step into his power. What else needs to happen? Okay, I think you're gonna know this because you're hearing this, I think, the same as me. Andrew needs to grieve right now, and that's okay. And we get that sense, like, again, this is like the end of a cycle, but grieving is a process. Before you can shut any door to open up a new one, right? Before opening up new doors and stepping through, I'm feeling like, okay, allow that grief period in. Allow yourself to grieve. The push, the motivation feels like a push because it's very hard to get motivated when we're in a grieving space. And I'm feeling your heart right now, like it needs a little space. It's okay right now. If everybody else is making their intentions for 2020, that's fine, let them off. Right now, just be with you. Come back in, Andrew. Come back home into the body right now through all time and space. And just take a breath in. And I'm going to invite in some balance for you, my love. To that balancing. It's like the not knowing here, not knowing fully what you're feeling, not knowing fully what's happening around you, not knowing where you're going to go. And that not knowing can be really like, or frightening, or just like in limbo. Like you're in limbo. Anyway, that's true. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Come back home again. I'm going to invite in some support for you wherever you need it. Grief is something, it's very hard to grieve on one's own, right? And sometimes I don't even know if it's acknowledged. Like when a partnership that's, when a partnership breaks down, whatever it is, there's an element of grief. It happens there. It's a loss. Even if it wasn't going well for a while, there's still that loss sense. It needs to be acknowledged, and that's okay. And that sometimes to be witnessed in that, it needs to happen. There's a ritual effect in that where the mind, the body, the heart, we're acknowledged visually by others in our community around us. So I feel like you need some support around you right now. And I don't know, is it male friends, family? Is it female friends, family? Whatever it is you need right around you right now, I'm going to invite that in for you because I feel that you need to be witnessed in this a little bit more than you are. I think you might have somebody, but it's like a little bit more, if that's okay. The whole motivation, the push, right? So I'm just feeling in that grief, it needs to be acknowledged and almost like it's okay. Take that pressure off yourself because it is there. I can see in front of you is everything. Don't push it. Just allow it in. This cycle is coming. Okay. And even in 2 weeks, we're coming into this period as well where there's expectations. There's a sense of this, it should be looking this way. We should be eating this for Christmas. Like there's a lot of shoulds around Christmas. So allow that expectation from you as well. And just declutter where you need to, because there is that letting go. Well done, you. And I send you my love. All right, I feel you. Love you. Thank you. After Andrew, who was it? Who's there after Andrew? Gay. Hi. Are you still here, Gay? Let's just see, because I'll pull one more after you. Gay. Let's see, is Gay still here? I hope you're still here, Gay. A card just jumped out, so I'm going to pick it up for you. 1 second. Ooh. You got 2 cards, and I'm going to ask, are the 2 for you or just 1? 2 for you, yes? Yes, thank you. See how I'm using the questions? I always say thank you after I receive something, and thank you kind of, it's gratitude, and gratitude brings in more, right? So, Gay, I'm just clearing my body before I read you because I can still feel Andrew. I love you, Andrew. So I'm just going to allow that breath in. And Gay, do you have a question around play and your intuition? Please post it in the box below. If anybody, the next card I pull as well, if there's a question for the next person who's in line, because I'm going to intuitively go to the next one, it's just going to be intuitive based. If there's a question around the topic that we have today, please post it in the box. And we can play with that question today. So, Gay, these are the 2 cards that came for you. So the first one is this. It's funny, there was like a logic to this when it came out. The first one is looking deeper. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. And I really do see you as this, Gay. It's like there's so many gems within you. And we get to, I haven't gotten to see all of yours because I only saw you that once or twice, but I get that sense that you have so much to offer, so much wisdom, so much gifts, so much knowing, so much healing, so much of everything, to be honest. Joy, light, impact. It's almost, I'm going to say this, it's almost like, oh God, does that mean there's more shadow work? That's like, it's like I'm feeling that already. And I'm going to kind of say, no, it's okay. I don't think there's too much more shadow work, if, in case that was what you were thinking. Because it doesn't need to be all deep, dark shadow work, okay? To receive the gifts that we need. It doesn't always need to be that way. And I'm going to invite in the ease, joy, and grace for you to find what does it mean by these gifts that are here, these jewels, these priceless pieces of objects, stones, vibrations, energies, these energies and vibrations that are waiting to come in. Yes, thank you. So this is what you've called into your vortexual field already. So you've been calling in a lot, right? It just quite hasn't landed yet. Does that make sense when I say that? And it's like you've been out to the universe, putting out this call, this siren call. Send me this. I want this. Where is this part of me? I know it's there. Who is she? Where is she? Where is this abundance? Where are these blessings? These people, these relationships, these experiences. It's like I can feel so much is there in the vortexual field that you've been manifesting by putting that call out, whether consciously, unconsciously. Perhaps you've been writing them down. Perhaps you have been asking of source, God, creator, higher self, whatever words you use for that. Perhaps you have been asking, or even creating a ritual and doing it. Yeah. Okay. So how do they come into your field? That's the question. It's like everything is here. It's like I can sense it right here, and it's like it's not quite in the matter. It's not like I can touch it quite yet. It's like, oh, I can sense it, but it's not like, show me the evidence. Where's the evidence? My brain wants the evidence. God damn it. Okay. So yes, you need to play more. I can just reading what you're saying there. So how can you play more to receive? How can you open up to receive? Because this feels like it's about receiving, Gay. It's like everything's already been called in. It just hasn't been received yet. I'm moving my body again because I am feeling like down my side. Okay, this is my left side of my body. It's like I'm kind of feeling, what's the word? I'm trying to find the word for that. Like, when I got a cold draft, like and you're kind of seized up a little. It's like that. I'm feeling like seized up on my left side, and that's my receiving side. So this is how I'm feeling it. So I just want to move my body And it feels like movement in your body will help with this as well. So if you're able to move with me, do that. And let's loosen the body and see what the body wants to say to you. What does Gay's body want to tell her about receiving? You said it wants to play more. Is that true? Yes. How and what does play look like to you, Gay? How does play feel to you? What does it look like? And these are the questions I feel like you need to ask so that you can access that receiving energy. So that could be like, how can I receive more? But how can I play more so that receiving is easier? So it's like these play on words to see where the least resistance is. Because sometimes we say, how can I receive more? And it feels like we're taking, and that can bring up subconscious programming. So let's leave that aside. Okay, how can I play more so that I'm open to receive? How can I play more? You need a lot of self-care right now. That's what I'm seeing. Whatever self-care looks like to you is like you need to put aside 3 hours for yourself and do that, because that's going to bring you right in so that you're actually receiving some answers and your next step forward. But also it's given the body time to just open, soften, relax so that you're in receiving mode in the body as well. So it's not in the doing mode or the thinking mode. It's like I'm seeing you 10 steps ahead. You know the way you'd be 10 steps ahead to figure everything out and to plan everything, and the to-do is 10 steps ahead essentially. And it's like, wait, can we come back right in and just come into center so that you can access that play energy to receive? Because if we're 10 steps ahead out here, it's very hard to access it. It's like you're overreaching. And that's a massive amount of energy expenditure, mentally and physically and emotionally. Because that's as well in the thoughts, in the mind space and emotional space as well. So we're just going to invite that, whatever needs to pass through. You're having a big clearing right now as well with that gateway and the solstice coming up as well for you. Rooting, grounding is going to be super important. You with the land, Gay, rooting and grounding 2112 is going to be really important. There's a particular energy that wants to come in to connect with you. Feels very earth energy, like shamanistic, if that's a word to use. It's probably not a word, I just made it up. I'm asking these questions in my head, so I'm going to say it out loud. Is this true? Yes. Who are you? I'm a guide. Okay, so what are you here to help guide Gay with? I'm here to guide her back into herself so that she does access. And he's pointing, the guide I feel is pointing at these jewels, is like so that she may access this within herself. This is the journey within. And what a beautiful journey it is to see unfold. You've been on this journey a while, is kind of what I'm hearing. And this is the next. It feels like it wants to be made easier, like more ease. It doesn't have to be a hard journey. This can be one with ease. And let's invite in that, I feel like I want to say elemental energy to lighten it up. Let's lighten it up. Okay, so looking deep within me is majestic radiance. Your second card, Gay, is all about following your bliss. And I kind of wanted to say it in Irish, right? Follow your flipping bliss. Okay, follow your bliss, my darling. My soul sings with joy, and this is part of it. That's what this being is saying. It's like, I'm here to guide you more into that, to access more of that. And this is all play. Look at the card, like she's singing away. She's playing her music. She's the sunshine down her. The moon's to her back. She's on the back of a freaking unicorn. I mean, come on. I'd be laughing now if that unicorn was shouting rainbows. But like, that's literally, how much play can you get, you know? So for you, what does play look like, Gay? How can you access it? Feel your first step is self-care. You need to set aside that time. That's a need right now for you. It's a need for you physically and mentally to come back in so that you're receiving yourself. And what does self-care look like to you? Is it a long hot bath? You're shutting the door, you're turning off the phones, you're saying, don't bother me for 3 hours, I'm in here, leave me alone. I don't know what it is like. So is it going outside for a walk? Find out what your self-care is. 3 hours feels like I have to say it needs to be not shorter than 3 hours. You're going to that time for yourself. And if time is coming in as a stickler point, right? It's like we don't have time this time of year. Breathe into that and release anywhere where that's pulling you back, constricting you, holding you to a certain rule. Because to be honest, I kind of want to, it's like I want to say, you know, excuse my language, if anybody's watching. It's like, let y'all off. I need to look after me. Mind yourselves there for a while. I need to look after me. That's what I feel like is coming through for you guys. Very direct. It's a little bit colourful in the language. So, gay, that's what's coming in for you. I'm not sure if you're resonating with that at all. I'm a little amused by it. But I'm inviting that in for you. Okay, so last card, self-care, gay. Okay, yes, you're saying yes. Okay. Nikki, welcome. And Parul, I haven't met you before. Hello, sweetheart, welcome. You're welcome, gay. Just laugh because it's like I really was seeing that. Feck y'all. So I don't know, you're doing a lot of caring right now for others, and it's like you need self-care for you. Okay, so let me see who's next on this. I'm just going to intuitively pull it. Right. Yes. Awesome, Kate. So you're going to do that. Brilliant. Let me know how you get on. Okay. So one last card. I'm just going to see who wants to be pulled next. I have no idea why it's showing up on my computer screen. Me and technology, eh? It's lucky I have the phone. Boom, boom. So we were talking about, this is the last day of the challenge, the Playful Abundance Challenge. We're talking about ways to access the intuition through play and using playful questions, right? That's what we're talking about. For any of you coming on late, you can rewatch the start. Ooh, okay. So who am I pulling for? I'm just going to go through your names and say yes, no. Okay. Nikki, yes, no. Okay, I was going to scroll up, but Nikki, I got a yes for you straight away. So I'm sorry if any of you asked for cards earlier on. This is the last, and I did say I was going to intuitively pull it, and I got a yes straight away for Nikki. And ooh, I'm literally readjusting right now. My whole back is going click, 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 click. So in that, I'm just going to invite everybody to let's breathe and move and get a little freaky. Okay, so when you see me moving, usually it's after I read somebody, it's to release any energy that I'm receiving by reading them, essentially, so I get clearer for the next person. I've noticed that helps. That's why I do it. There's a beautiful peacefulness, Nikki, that I'm sensing around you. And my feet energy centers, feet chakras, are grounding into the earth right now. So if you're doing that, well done. And if you're not, do that. Oh, very much feminine energy. I feel like your whole yoni space, the word for yoni space, sitting space, vagina, your whole area there, it's like opening, and allow that to connect in from there too, just like your feet. So just like breathing all the way down, allow that energy into the earth. There's some magnificence for you here. What is that? Let's invite that in. Ooh, vortexual energy. Thank you. Nikki, what are you doing, girl? It's working. What are you up to? Because I'm going, is this what's happening to her right now, or is she bringing it in? Both. She's bringing this in more and it's happening. Okay, so that grounded energy is absolutely luxurious. It's freaking fantastic. Thank you for letting me to experience you. So I'm getting the word initiation, Nikki. That part of you is going through an initiation. This is like your integration of all aspects of you, higher self, body self, but also more than that, even again. This is very cosmic. Now we're coming up to 2112. I mentioned that again, and this is a special number. It's also a veil is thinner on this date. So dates have significance, veils are thinner. Initiation. Great blessings going to be bestowed on you. So I'm feeling like there's a gift awakening within you, or it's already there, but it's like blossoming. This is quite something to behold. Sorry, everybody. I'm in the energy of Nikki right now. I'm just going to enjoy it. Really fabulous. Like for me, it's almost like a sparkly present. Undoing that sparkly present with silver and glitter and gold, and glitter is going everywhere. Earth energy, fairy energy, but also cosmic, divine feminine of the earth, divine feminine of the sky, integration of both. Great knowledge, great wisdom to be accessed, great knowledge. Okay, so your card. The first one I pulled, and I said I felt peace. It's stepping into stillness, right? So my power is born in the majesty of silence. So this kind of feels like a confirmation for me that stay centered. Stay centered. There's so much more coming. A lot more coming for you. And it will require this deep grounding that you're cultivating to allow that high frequency to come in, because this is almost like a massive upgrade in one way. I'm seeing sequencing of your DNA at all, like you're changing on the inside, changing on the outside. You're changing, right? You're going through this change. Deep stillness, peace, allowing that in more for you. I don't know if any part of you is already purged. When I say purging, it's like that release. Sometimes it shows up as physical or tiredness. That's over. Feels like I'm saying that's over. So okay. Second card I pulled for you, Nikki, is savoring pleasure. Just like I was savoring you. I fully embrace bliss in my life. I keep hearing awaken, 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 massive gifts awakening for you, Nikki. Have you been playing with your own gifts recently? Is it something, I don't know what you do. I don't know you. So, it's like I'm hearing new forms, new waves, new everything. Like there's a lot of newness going to come in. So whether there's gifts that you already use in your everyday life, it's going to show in a much richer way. And even in saying that richer, the savoring of pleasure, all of your senses. When we talk about pleasure, we talk about all of our senses. Pleasure is experienced through sense, through the smell, the taste, the feel, the everything, the sound, right? It's like this whole body experience, but also the energetic, that running energy through us, how that feels at that level. So savoring pleasure in this sense, how I'm feeling it for you, is you embodying all parts of you. And that's like deep self-love as well, like really coming into that, accepting the light that you are, accepting the power. Again, the word lux, it's coming in again. Lux, light, luxury, gold, abundance, when I say that word. And it came up from Michelle earlier as well. Lux. As women, and as men, for the men out there too, do we allow ourselves to step into that lux, Lux, and luxury with like, and that's leaving behind any old patterns of scrimping, saving, or luxury is for when I'm rich already, rather than actually what little, how can everything be luxury in life? It doesn't need a cost. It's that feeling of luxury that we give ourselves. Because that's feeling like we're caring for ourselves through our food, through the people we interact with, through our connections. As simple as the sheets we put on our bed, right? It's so simple, these things, but what gives us that feeling? Okay. Oh, I'm seeing your writing on my phone. Hold on. You've stepped into your light. Yes, and again, looks came in there. Starting a soul coaching business, learning what your gifts are, Okay. I have a feeling you already know what your gifts are, but they're just going to come in more. And that's when I say luxury, it's like they're going to grow and blossom even more. And this whole talk that you're coming on to, your intuition, but that natural, there's a special something in you. And I'm releasing now the magnetism, where like magnetism is important part of it. Oh, sorry, literally I'm just getting disconnected now. So because I was in your energy the whole time. You have an ability to magnetize people into their bodies, those that are dispersed, those that are out of themselves, those that are in the headspace, those that have actually exited because of the pain, because of whatever they're going through. They've just checked out. There's your being, your light, your embodiment of you in your body, naturally, just by being with you. You don't need to say anything. Just by being in your presence, your vibrational essence anchors people naturally into their center. When you're centered, when you're connected from earth, as above, so below, when you're that conduit, right? When you're that natural conduit, that energy transfers from you to earth. It's naturally helping them see they can do that for themselves. And there's no language for this. It just is, right? There's no amount of money that people can pay to get this. You just are this. So in essence, through your guidance, through your coaching, your natural resonance, the natural frequency that you hold will help people bring in very quickly. You'll be bringing people into center. So it'll be very easy for people when they work with you to come from mind space to heart space to body. In other words, it'll be very easy for people to break patterns. It'll be easy because they'll be in that whole, they'll be out of the head and into the heart space, into the body space. And you're also connecting them to earth, so that any gifts that they have, any high energy that they have, any stuck energies, anything that's like that, it'll just transference into the earth grid. So that magnetizing energy you have is going to really help with that. And it's massively important right now that those of us that are channels, you, okay, and there's a lot of people on this call that are channel, like I know a lot of you are. Those of us that are channels, we're dealing with energies that are kind of like, whoo, they're up here, hi, all that high energy, all these light codes coming in, right? You hear me talk about gateways and codeways, and I mean, I don't even talk that much about it because it's like you could be off of the fairies talking about a lot of this. Really, you have to embody it. Doesn't matter how much you talk about it, you got to be it. And essentially, Nikki, what I'm saying is you are going to be it if you are not it already. And that's what's important. The importance is embodiment of this. Coming in, don't even need to recognize it, just breathe it in. Boom, down it goes into the earth. You are it. You are carrying those light codes around you. Your DNA is changing. It's already changing. Take a breath. Here we go. Are you ready for the ride of your life in 2020? Okay, so let me see. Is that it? Wonderful, amazing. You're welcome. Mary, this is received. Thank you for the validation. Oh my goodness, you're welcome. It is my pleasure. I just want to thank you because I got to experience that, and it is most wonderful because it is part of my journey here to be that embodiment as well, Nikki. I mean, it is part of my journey to do that too. And that's what we're all on, all right? We're on that journey together, all of us. And all we can do is share our experiences, share our love, share our play, so that it's not so difficult, right? That we're here together. So to each and every one of you, I send you my love. Thank you. And so post me any questions, post me any comments, any experiences. You know I love to read them. And let me know what it's like for you accessing your intuition. What experiences have you had? How does it feel to you? And through your shares, others learn. You'll ping others, so please share. Sending you my love and goodbye.